understand why so many people, and look, you spoke about being misunderstood. Why so many, do you understand the mindset of why so many people call you a scam artist?
Yes.
Motivational speakers just blow a lot of hot air. That's the first question. The second one being, are you comfortable speaking about your wealth, your money? Because there's a follow-up question from that.
So let's discuss them, and to the extent to which I'm not, I'll let you know.
Okay.
So yes, I understand the scam artist thing.
Do you understand it? Do you understand the psychology of average people? I'm a motivational speaker. Yes, they always lie to us.
Yes.
A grain of rice. I started with a grain of rice. Today I own test cake.
I started with a teaspoon. Now I have a restaurant.
So Vusi are going to make us sell our parents.
Yeah, look, I do understand it. So first, at the beginning of this, to arc back to where we started, I spoke about public speaking and the technical nature of the craft, right? So I didn't define myself as a motivational speaker.
Sure.
Y'all did.
Okay.
I'm a public speaker. But because of how the world understands things, right? Any poet who rhymes over a beat is now called a hip-hop artist.
Boom.
That's it. And so let me tell you, when you call a Vusi Thembekwayo, what you've done. You take a poet who rhymes over a beat, you call him a hip-hop artist, and then say he must therefore be a thug, a gangster, and a murderer.
Boom.
And you create that trail of logic with 1 second of thought.
Yeah.
Right? I'm fascinated when people say I'm a scammer, because for you to say that, first, you would need not know who I am and how long I've been around. Right?
Yeah.
Just call around, man. Like, pick up your, don't be lazy. Pick up your phone and phone around and ask about me.
Sure.
Right? So that's the first comment. The second comment is, it's curious to me how people who have the least to be scammed from want to make the most noise about being scammed.
You're like, you've never even given me 2 cents.
So, mawuthi uvusa uskemile. Konje namalini engizoyithatha. And angikudeleli ngiyabuza.
Sure.
Right. And the sub-question there is actually this. This is the real question. If you see the scam artist, just show me the scam.
Facts.
Because I haven't seen the scam yet.
Yeah.
And if it is, I'm trying to see who's running it. People watch my masterclasses that I did online and go, see, he's scamming people. Those were free. I took my time that I could have been spending at home with my 3 beautiful kids.
Yeah.
And I came and spent it in a room with young entrepreneurs who were asking questions where I felt I could help. Isono Sami's panel was that I invited guys with cameras and I said, record it so that we can show it to others. So if they have the same questions, they can see the answers.
Yeah.
That was it. And all of a sudden people went, who does he think he is anyway? And as those people went, why is he even hosting a masterclass? He's not the wealthiest South African. I never said I was. He's not the wealthiest black. I didn't say that either. He doesn't employ the most black people. I didn't say that I did. But why don't you get the wealthiest black to host the masterclass?
Orcs.
Yeah, don't come to me and tell me about the guy you bumped into at Konka driving the latest Ferrari SF90 and he should be hosting a masterclass. Ask him to host it. Do you know why he won't host it? I'll tell you why. Because within 30 minutes of that, you would realize he's all flow and no substance.
Jeez.
You would realize he's all connection and no content. You would realize that if it wasn't for the people he can dial on that tablet that he uses as a phone.
Why are you speaking about a specific person?
Right. That guy wouldn't have that wealth.
Yeah.
That's what you'd realize. The only reason you don't like me is because I've taken the little I have, opened it up and said, hey, yo, izani ngizonibonisa kwenzakalani la. That's it. If you want to learn how valuation works today, go YouTube, Vusi Thembekwayo valuation. There's a full video on it. That's it. Isono Sami was that I took information you would have gone to school for, shared it for free, and people who did not understand the value of that information then went, he's scamming us. Those masterclasses were for free. I didn't get paid for that. Guys go and watch it and they go, yeah, but at the end it says in association with Capitec. No, that was me showing goodwill to Vusi Thembekwayo, my brother, who at the time was the CMO of Capitec. Yeah. We had just done a campaign and I said, yo, to thank you, I'm going to put your logo at the back of these masterclasses so folks go, it's all good.
Sure.
They didn't pay me for that.
They didn't pay you? Sibusiso, come on.
No. I mean, Spud as a brother.
Don't I'm kidding.
Spud as a brother. Spuda, if it wasn't for Sibusiso, my campaign with Capitec wouldn't have happened.
Sure.
Right. And
that's a beautiful story, by the way, for people that don't know. Because obviously, Capitec, I'm a boon who started Posh Mafia.
Let me tell you.
You're literally saying it's a boy of mine that was working there.
Who brought me in. I went to the head office of Capitec. I met the entire All the bosses.
Sure.
And let me tell you why Spu's a change agent. Because then he leaves. He goes to African Bank.
Yeah.
And what does he do? He goes and finds this amazing artist called Ricky Rick.
Come on, Spuda.
And pulls him in.
Come on, Spuda.
Nobody talks about Spu.
But that's why you're here, to speak about him and to also encourage, because, you know, we keep speaking about these big brands. I always say, when they're like, oh, the brands are saying for their reputation, I'm like, there's no weird brand. There are young, normally black kids sitting there preempting that, oh, this is not good for the brand. And they're the ones that have the ability to transform and be change agents. So shout out to people like your mate.
And by the way, he is a plethora of others, right?
Yeah.
It's him. I think about guys like Greg at Jägermeister and what he's done for the Jägermeister brand in South Africa. The number of Amapiano artists Greg has put on, right? Where he has literally sponsored these guys. And they're doing amazing stuff. We need to celebrate guys like that.
We do.
But, you know...
Yo, those guys are fighting big battles, man. Shout out to all of them.
And you know, so for me, as you know, I have a long history in corporate.
Yeah.
I know what those battles are. In my 20s, I was in corporate.
Yeah.
Right? I sat across the table. I sat across the table with a Lopsha and Van Tonder and Van der Merwe, and I was the one going, this is not how this demographic does things.
Sure.
It's not how this marketplace exists. We need to do it differently. So I know the constant clash that exists today, right? Just the way our people were represented in ad agencies 20, 30 years ago, and the arc of that story, it's because there were change agents in the room going, why njalo manenza ama-advert for abantu abamnyama fanele sijive?
Sure. Sajiva siyacula siyamemeza.
Why? Making an ad about, you know, I don't know, female sanitary pads.
Yeah.
They are dancing. Well, but sanitary pads nokujiva konje sihlangana kanjani?
Kanjani?
Nisithengisela ama-baked beans siyacula. Sihlangana kanjani lezi zinto? Right? And it's because there was an archetype, an avatar of who black people are.
Yeah.
Singing, dancing. And that's how our story was told.
Yeah.
So I go back to your question. The scam artist thing, I've even given up trying to answer that. I'm like, you need to believe whatever you want to believe.
Please don't ever give up. I know the power of propaganda, and as boring as it is, you must always be like, I'm not, what. That's my opinion. Sorry. Because I know it's very noisy out there, and someone will be hearing you answer that for the first time. That's why I have some of the energy, but it's not good for the mind. And it's very distracting.
And also, you know, so here's why I stopped answering that question. Was because I realized, to your point, that I wasn't being called a scam artist, a mistake.
Yeah.
I was being called a scam artist because I started saying things that people didn't like.
Yeah.
And I started doing things that people didn't like. And the only way to discredit the effort is to discredit the person making it.
Boom.
So then I go, but hold on. You know, in a few weeks' time, I'm on tour, right? So I've got a Middle East, North Africa, and Europe tour. Sold out. I'm doing a masterclass in Dubai. 600 people. Remind me why I must answer you, who wants to come to my free masterclass at my time, my expense, my team, my resources, when I can be over there getting paid and appreciated for the same work. They will love me. You call me a scam artist for it. Now, here's what's curious. It's not curious to you that the poorest nations are the ones who call knowledge merchants scam artists. It's not curious to you that the poorest people are the ones who find no value in being educated. They would far rather pay for the entertainment. When I run a workshop or a session in New York, I run a workshop or a session in Texas, as I did last year, people don't squabble at my fee. They pay the fee, they come into the room, they sit down, they've got a notepad, and they write it down.
Yeah.
And somebody actually,
Sure.
that's how they value knowledge. Here, you say, it's free, come. Nah.